When I was a little girl, there was one day that was very special. And on that special day, I got new clothes to wear and new underwear. And then I was taken to the doctor for my physical. And the doctor taught me really important things about health. You probably learned these very same things when you were a child too. Because the doctor would examine me, and at the end of the examination, the doctor would look at my mother and say, she's in great health. And what that taught me was that I have nothing whatsoever to do with my health. It's in the hands of the experts. The parents and the doctors are in charge of my health, not me. And after proclaiming me to be in great health, the doctor gave me a shot. So I knew that in order to be in good health, you must use drugs. Very clear. Now, I am not being facetious because we find that the vast majority of people in North America and throughout Western civilizations believe these two things, don't they? They believe that they are not responsible for their health. How's your health? I don't know. I go to the doctor and the doctor tells me it's fine. But they are not taking responsibility, and if there is a problem, then the first choice is drugs. Now, my parents made a grave error when I was 2. They had another child. The nerve! Couldn't they tell I was enough child for them? However, since I was in the South, I was expected to be a lady and not be angry. So instead, I got a bladder infection. Pissed off, huh? As a matter of fact, I soon found that getting a bladder infection was the answer to virtually all of my problems. Anytime I was upset about anything, I just got a bladder infection, and then suddenly I got all the attention, which is what I wanted. I had so many bladder infections that I thought the color of urine was supposed to be bright orange. There's an antibiotic given against bladder infections called gantrazin, and it turns your urine orange. Well, I didn't think that there was anything wrong with this. After all, the doctor who was in charge was giving me the drug, which I needed to be healthy. I did, however, get out of Dallas as fast as I could. And I was at UCLA. And back in the 60s, when I was at UCLA, there was a lot of age segregation on college campuses. The students were young, and the teachers were older. And so when I went into the cafeteria one day, and there was a woman sitting there who was like, God, she must have been at least 30. I thought, what's this old woman doing in the cafeteria? And being a curious sort, I went over, and I sat down next to her, and I said, what are you doing here? And she said, career change. I said, really? What career have you been doing that's so terrible that you want to change? She said, public health nurse. I said, what's so bad about that? She said, if I see one more young woman go into kidney failure because of gantrazin, I'm going to pull my hair out. And I said, what's gantrazin? And she said, it's an antibiotic given against bladder infections. And I said, does it turn your urine orange? And she said, it does. And I went, huh? Now, it's not news to you that drugs can harm you. But believe me, it was huge news in 1964. It was enormous news. It was, what? The drug that the professional who's in charge of my health has been giving me could destroy my kidneys? This was astonishing to me. How do I know if my kidneys are okay? I said to her. She said, how do you feel when you wake up in the morning? I said, like everybody, I have a backache. She said, how old are you? I said, 17. She said, 17-year-olds don't have backaches when they wake up in the morning. That's your kidneys. Oh my gosh. What? So like many people, faced with this, maybe the expert doesn't really know how to make me healthy. I went off in search of something else. Many of you are searching for something else. And what we usually find when we're looking for that something else is called alternative medicine. Now, I am going to compress a great many years of my life into a few sentences, and you'll kind of have to fill in the missing years there. So, I was told that what I needed to do is to eat raw food and juice. So I went to my health food store and I bought a juicer and a 25-pound bag of organic carrots, and I went home where I might have lived happily ever after if I hadn't bought a book on my way out of the store. So I'm drinking my carrot juice and eating my raw salad, and I'm reading this book, and it says, human beings get nothing at all from raw food. The appropriate diet for human beings is brown rice. So I went back to my health food store, and I bought my pressure cooker and my 25-pound bag of organic brown rice, along with some Aduki beans and seaweed. And I went home, and I'm eating this meal, and I might have lived happily ever after if I hadn't bought another book. And this book said, if you eat beans and rice at the same meal, you'll die. So I went back to the health food store, and I bought every chart they sold on food combining. I had a pretty small kitchen. In fact, the charts covered every single wall of my kitchen, and I had to put one on the ceiling. And sometime shortly thereafter, I was sitting there eating watermelon at midnight. Now, we know that it was midnight, because you cannot eat watermelon within 6 hours of any other food. And we know that it was watermelon because if you look at all those charts, that's about the only thing left to eat.